Hello everyone, how y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. Today we have multiple stories from our slash entitled parents, where we have a father making a mistake on an investment ruining his daughter's life.
My father ruined everything because he is reckless with his money. I don't think I can hit rock bottom like this. I am a 20F, have lived the entirety of my life in Gulf, and my father has crossed 27 years. I was born in Gulf and I love Gulf very much. Honestly, I feel like Gulf is more of my homeland, but because of the Gulf treatment of expats and not giving citizenship where it is due, we are stuck in a place where we have to go back to our motherland since my father will be retiring. Here is the kicker. In our group of expats, usually they have a house that they have built or brought a house where they can settle into immediately, but my dear old ass of a father invested his money, lifetime's worth of money, about 60 million in real estate where 40 million money was robbed. The money that some was robbed by two people. One is a DR who used to be my mom classmate in medical school and his real estate agent. They lied the land prices to us and about other legal documentation and processing of that land and the registration process, leaving us with many of the land is still in air because my father gave all that money in advance and the documentation has been not entirely solid or is not done in our name due to travel issue and being outside of the country, leaving the lands not in our possession or in anyone's, leaving it in air. Also, this money was given to them in full cash, so there's nothing we can do to get it back, and there was no written legalization as he trusted this doctor so much, leaving us empty-handed. My father being the ass, he has zeroed his bank account despite me and my mom saying no multiple times and trying to reason with him into buying a house or building a house, and not to mention saying him to give the money after the proceedings was done and the land in our hand, but no, he did not listen, leaving us in a messy nest with the doctor filling a case, which is false, saying we robbed his 40 million. Please, he did not even see that much money in his entire life. I want to make you people focus on a fact that this case filling is ing now, and the buying took place 4 years back. Now my father is retiring in coming 5 months. He wasted this money. Not to mention, he is a Andrew Tate of a guy, so he did not let my mom do her job either, so he is a sole earner. He won't let me do a job, because he says I have to be married to do a job. Now we're stuck in a pandemonium. We have nowhere to go, nowhere to stay. We can't even build a house at this rate, and nothing can be done. We can't even buy an apartment or a ready-made house, since we have zero money. We are living paycheck to paycheck, and he won't even listen to us. When we say we want to stay with our maternal grandma, he is not even agreeing to stay in the same town as her, because his jackal of a father said the wife's side is always bad. I swear I want to curse him and chew him out. This stupid man has no idea that he is a sole breadmaker of our family and understand that he ruined our lives and won't let others keep the money or property they have. He sold all my mother's property, and now we are here. 40 million in others' bank account. They have brought houses, cars, and whatnot by my father's money, and here I am thinking of not buying a $20 dish soap which is on discount. I hate my father.
He won't even let me do a job.
I can't go anywhere else or live alone because I am Eastern Asian, making my situation even worse because I have to depend on this moss head to pay for my studies, my marriage, even day-to-day things, which is extremely annoying and embarrassing. I don't want to depend on him, and since I am studying and none of my degrees are finished, I am doing 3 degrees, I can't even do a job. He says it's okay as it is the custom of my people, and the thing is daughters have it much worse. He won't even let me get a part-time job, so I could save up some money. Hell, he won't even let me learn to drive. As soon as I say I will be independent, he will do something in my life that I have to depend on his ass. I hate this man.
So it's a culture things? It's hard to change something that's already embedded in someone's mind. Some people just try what they want to do and give proof that they can be independent.
My mother doesn't respect my boundaries, and it's affecting my mental health and relationship. Has anyone been through something similar? I, F36, have a mother, 62, who doesn't respect my boundaries, and I don't know what to do anymore. I moved to another country with my husband 3 years ago, and I haven't lived with my parents since I was 22, but this is the first time I'm really far away, about an 8-hour flight. I've never been good at setting boundaries with my parents, especially my mother, and I allowed her to play the roles of best friend and mother simultaneously for many years, to the point where she intrudes on my adult life, my decisions, and even my relationship. I decided to go to a therapist for various reasons, one of which was to learn how to set boundaries. My psychologist told me that my mother was abusing the trust one had given her and, at times, was using that trust to manipulate and emotionally blackmail me. When I started setting boundaries with my parents, it was hard for them, and even for me. The problem is that my mother doesn't respect those boundaries, and it's getting to the point where visiting my parents causes me anxiety. It's to the point that if I'm talking to my partner, she'll stand behind the door to listen, or if I play a voice message from a friend, she immediately comes to ask about the message and who it was from. She constantly interferes in my relationship, saying things like, "Maybe your husband isn't happy with you and doesn't know how to tell you," creating insecurities in me that, over time and with my therapist's help, I realized were developed because of her comments. The thing is, she's a distrustful person, and even if you tell her, the store didn't have X brand of detergent, she'll go to the store herself to check if that detergent really wasn't available. And I'm using the detergent as an example, but you could substitute it with almost anything. Now my father is sick, and I swear the situation is already unbearable for my mental health and for my father's health as well. She keeps questioning everything the doctors say, even when she attends the consultations. She keeps telling me what I should tell the doctors whenever I'm there visiting my father, and there's an appointment. I swear that I'm only here because of my father, because if he were healthy, I'd only come for 4 days, stay in a hotel, and that would be it. Finally, I don't even want my partner to come with me because I don't want him to witness these episodes with my mother, especially since he has a diagnosed depression, and these situations could affect his well-being. Of course, my mother doesn't understand this and keeps saying, "It seems like your husband doesn't like us." I just don't know what to do anymore. Has anyone been through a similar situation? What do you recommend?
You're definitely not alone in dealing with a boundary-challenged, over-involved parent. If you read this sub, many people have similar struggles, and it's admirable that you're working with a therapist to establish boundaries.
My mom still hits me. I live by myself and have a job. I went out to dinner with my mom tonight, even though I don't see her often. I am in the process of growing a beard. When she saw my face as I arrived at her house to pick her up, she reacted negatively, questioning why I would show up with facial hair, knowing that she hates it. I had been shaving my head bald until I left for college, and I always shaved when I came home for the holidays. This time, I stood my ground on my decision to keep my facial hair. She started throwing things at me and yelling about how I was disrespecting her and breaking my promise never to grow hair on my body, as she believes it is only for losers and the uneducated. I ended up going back to my place and just finished dealing with a visit from the cops, who came to interview me. My mom has been calling me nonstop, threatening that I will be fired from my job because of my beard, and saying that she will call my company to complain. Despite everything, I still feel like I failed as a son tonight because I wasn't clean-shaven and had facial hair.
I'm so sorry you're going through this. It sounds like a really intense and emotionally challenging experience. Growing a beard is a personal choice, and it's completely understandable that you want to express yourself in a way that feels authentic, especially as an adult. Your mother's reaction seems extreme, and the fact that she resorted to throwing things, calling the police, and even threatening to contact your job shows a level of behavior that goes beyond a simple difference of opinion.
Mom closes sliding glass door on my head and says I'm overreacting and it's not a big deal. I was talking to my parents when they were outside, and then they mentioned how they accidentally slammed the door on one of our dog's head and they wanted to test if it hurt. So their genius idea is to close it on my head because my head is in the path, and they say they want to test it, and I think they are joking because that's insane to do, but no. They just close it on my head and say it was just a joke. It shouldn't have hurt, it was a light tap. Why are you making such a big deal out of this? Meanwhile, my head is ringing like crazy and having a headache. They get mad at me for being upset at them and try and guilt trip me and say, "Why are you still stuck on this? It's not a big deal, you're just a weakling, you're really going to be that over the top. You were behaving so well recently and you have to ruin it now. My head still hurts like hell and I'm just going to go to sleep now and try to feel better tomorrow."
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. What your parents did sounds hurtful, both physically and emotionally. Minimizing your pain, dismissing your feelings, and calling you names after doing something physically harmful isn't a joke, nor is it okay. It sounds like they're trying to shift the blame onto you instead of acknowledging that their actions were wrong. That's unfair, and it's completely natural to feel hurt and upset. Thank you to everyone who reached this point. You're the best. If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing.